but what are some strategies for preparing students for the application level of questions on the exam, other than simply going over the practice questions?
I think making, and this is Ryan again, hopefully, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, sounds good.
Much better.
Cool. All right. I'm on the phone instead of the headset. I think making that data debrief part of your classroom culture, happening every time you do an activity or a longer investigation, students have the opportunity to put their data up in front of their peers and talk about it. I know it may sound just like, it might just sound like I'm just saying that, but really, you've got to get the data up on the board and get kids to think about it and give them time to, graph by hand or graph in Excel, and then, walk up and ask them what they think their data means. And we haven't even talked about statistical analysis. That's another thing that you want to be bringing into your classroom, getting kids used to thinking about aggregate data and what, and reducing variability within a data set, looking at, confidence intervals around an average, and being able to discuss what a significant difference is and what a non-statistically significant difference is. Again, that'd be another webinar, but that's, to me, that's the strategy. That's the culture of the classroom. So it's second nature for them by the time they get to an AP test.
What are some of the best resources for multiple choice, graded, and essay questions to help prepare students for the test in May, and how are the grid-in questions graded, and how many points is each question worth?
If I'm not mistaken, the grid-ins are worth the same amount as the multiple choice questions are. They're not weighted any differently.
They're not. They just go into the multiple choice section, the first part of the exam. So they, along with the multiple choice, are 50%, and the free response are 50%. I don't know what the best resources for questions are. I know that with the released exams, we have a few years under our belt, and the College Board says that they will continue to release those for at least the first 5 years. So there are people all over the place, I think, trying to compile and write questions that are appropriate. And as Nicole said at the beginning, at least 75 of these type of questions, I think, are in the test bank that go with the teacher's edition. I think we're all looking for good multiple choice and grid-ins. You can also take the old essay questions and rewrite them or refurbish them, take a 10-point question and make 3- and 4-point questions out of those. Each bullet sometimes is worth 3 or 4 points. So, but I know the multiple choice is the hardest to find.
Yeah, and piggybacking off of what Bobbie said, that's what I do with the essay questions. Is I'll take the old questions, the pre-2013 questions, and I'll take pieces of those questions and make them into short free response questions for my exams. Especially the ones that have science practices embedded within them. That to me is one of the best things you can do. And hey, built-in rubric, it's already there. And so. And I also have the luxury of having access to IB exams, and that's because I also teach IB. And so I can take some of those questions, some of those free response and data analysis questions, and, or as IB speak, paper 2 questions, and turn them into AP-style questions. But I know not everybody has access to those, although you can buy the IB test questions off of their store website. I forget what it's called, but I know you can buy those exam questions.
When successful AP Bio students reach your university and are successing 4 or higher on the AP exam, what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses? And please give examples using some biology content, if possible.
That is a good question. I mean, I have, former students of mine who have come back to me, and I can't, they've come back to me and said that my course was outstanding preparation for the intro courses that they had to take, because a lot of my kids go off declared as biology majors, and here in Texas, a lot of the schools won't give them, a lot of credit for majors biology. In fact, my students that go to the University of Texas at Austin have to take, biology for majors again as freshmen. And the ones that have managed to contact me and reach out and say, hey, I just want to thank you for preparing me so well because this class is so easy. I can't tell you specifically what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are because, they come back and they say, oh, it's so easy, it's so easy. So it's really hard for me to gauge that. I know my kids go off with a really good foundation, but, in biology that makes taking any other courses subsequent to intro easier for them, but I don't know of anything specific that they're, particularly strong or weak in.
I think what you've hit on, Lee, is something that I have for 40 years said. You may not score that high on the AP exam, but you're going to go into that freshman course much more confident, and you're going to be better versed than most of the kids. I think the emphasis that we have now on teaching science skills, I think that's the advantage that these students have over the others because they are able to apply the concepts. They're able to take a situation and look at it from a different angle if their professor, really pushes them to do that. So the confidence level and just being able to see something that maybe is a little strange to them but not be overwhelmed by it, I think that's the beauty of it. And if we teach the science skills, they're going to understand the graphing and the statistical analysis, and they're going to be able to pose a scientific question. All of those things are going to be much easier for them.
Agreed.
Yeah, I also sense this. Go ahead, Lee.
No, I was going to say it puts them way ahead of the other kids in the class. Because
Yes,
my kids have come back and said, oh, well, I'm the one that leads the study group because everybody wants to study with me. They always want to be my lab partner. They always want me to help them with this. I've got the best grade, because I already know this stuff. What I tell my kids is, hey, if you've got to take this class again, check it. You've got an easy 4.0. Stack those 4.0s your first couple of years. I say, because it only gets harder. And that's what ends up happening is these kids will go and they'll just excel far and above everybody else in their class because they've had a solid introductory course at the high school level.
Yeah, I agree. They should be a good AP bio class will be more progressive than what their first year bio classes are going to look like in college, and they'll be bored, super competent, and it's all good.
Yep.
I want to thank you guys for sitting through this, and I hope it was beneficial to you. And I really want to thank Bobbie, Lee, and Ryan for answering all your questions and going through this. So thank you guys for providing this resource.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. That was fun.
No, yeah, I was going to say, it's lots of good questions.
If you have anything else that you need from us, please let us know. Thank you guys. Good night.